When I left that position, in 2020, we received the Virginia Main Street designation, which had been our main goal in that whole initiative. And so it was time for me to leave and go out on my own. And I'd gotten good enough that I felt confident that I could start doing grant work as a contractor for folks. And fortunately, the Tazewell County Public Library Foundation reached out to me right as I, gave my resignation and said, we need help. We need to raise, I think at the time our goal was only $500,000. We need to raise $500,000 to renovate the Richlands branch. Can you do it? And I thought, I think I can. And so I immediately set out, and at this point we've raised a little over $600,000. The goal keeps increasing because the cost of everything has gone up, but we're almost there, and we've done a lot of really great work at the library. We've installed an elevator, for example, so there was no equitable access to the second-story children's area. So if anyone came in and had some sort of limited mobility, they couldn't go up there with their child, or even children who had limitations. So we've installed an elevator. That was a huge lift, no pun intended.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
We've done upgrades. The whole exterior has been renovated. New windows have been put in. So we've really saved that historic building, but also saved that amenity for the community. So after I got that win under my belt, it just kind of fell into place that I could just kind of take this and do other things. And and I'm not really looking for work. It just one thing always leads to the next thing. Someone introduces me to this person, and then they, we need you here. And so, that's just kind of how I manage it now. I have someone who helps me. I just brought her on about a year ago, and she lives in Bland. We actually grew up together, and she is doing wonderful. She has really figured out how to support all of this, and she does a lot of the research and helps me on that end of things. So that's been great. So that's increased my capacity a little bit. And on the note of capacity, so you touched on a little bit, there are lots of towns who need this, right? They don't have, it takes money. And capacity, that's an issue. They either don't have the funding to hire someone full-time to focus on it, or they don't know where to start. And it's not to say that they don't have a lot of people with big hearts and lots of great energy and ideas, and they want to see it through. It just takes a certain skill set to implement all of these things. And so, there are actually grant programs that can help those towns build that capacity and build that knowledge. So funding agencies have realized that there's a gap there. There's the need for this type of work, and there's a lot of funding out there available, but there's a gap between, we have our goals and we don't know how to get there. And so funding agencies have started implementing these programs that will help those towns figure it out themselves.
See, I think the challenge is the job looks so big that people just don't want to do it sometimes. It's not that they don't want to do it, it's just that it's so big. When they're looking at, if there's a mayor of a small town, and he's looking and saying, hey, I would like to do something here, we'd like to do more. I know of a mayor a while back, I was talking to him, and he was talking about how they had tried to get people to work summers. He said, we advertise summer jobs in this community, and nobody applies. You know what I mean? Just summer jobs to weed eat. And there's things out there that they I noticed this. I had to travel some more in McDowell County the other day, and it's enormous. Welch is a metropolis.
It is.
If you look at it, I mean, you think Tazewell's a pretty big place, but it's not. This thing here, you could sit it in the middle of Welch and never know it was there. And I thought about that. I thought when you go in, or I went over to Pineville, and I sit at one little convenience store there, and there must have been 1,000 cars come through the intersection.